Now, I am super excited for our next guest. Legal analyst and former felony prosecutor Nancy Grace is joining us now to tell us all about her new show, Crimefeed, that dives into true crime stories as they unfold. How exciting. Welcome, Nancy.
Oh, are you kidding? Thank you for inviting me.
So in this show, you have a mix of breaking news updates you cover, as well as diving into some famous older cases that we all know, like Tupac, right? So how do you balance those two things?
Most of the cases that we cover, even if they started a long time ago, we finish them. In the case of Tupac Shakur, I cannot believe it has taken this long until Keffi was arrested. I mean, are you telling me that in Las Vegas, you ever been to Las Vegas? People are milling around, thousands of people all night long, 24/7, and nobody saw a thing. When Tupac Shakur, one of the greatest artists of our time, is murdered. Well, that's a lie. People did see what happened. But it took the perp, Keffi to write a memoir of his own life where he brags about the murder to get an arrest. Wow. Yeah, that's bad. But that said, justice is moving forward. So in the cases that we cover, things are happening. Things are happening right now. A few weeks ago, we covered the case of Natalie Holloway, who we all know by now went missing on her high school senior trip to Aruba. Now, last year, her mother, Beth, and I go back to Aruba to kick some rocks and see if we could dislodge some more evidence. Do you know we had barely been on the ground 20 minutes and Aruban police detain us and try to arrest me and Beth Holloway? And I said, listen, you try to arrest the mother of Natalie Holloway when she's had her feet on the ground 20 minutes, it's taken you 20 years, and you still haven't arrested Jordan Vandersloot, the killer? In the last weeks, he actually appears in a Birmingham courthouse in the Hugo Black federal courthouse and admits he murdered Natalie. Now, most of his confession was a big fat lie that he fabricated to make himself look better, but I did believe one sentence. I murdered Natalie. I believe that part. He also murdered another young woman in Peru, Stephanie Tosiana Flores, and he is in Peruvian jail now on that murder. So that brings us full circle on Natalie Holloway, and we had to cover that. Right now, on Wednesday night, you're going to see me speak with the mother of 25-year-old Shanquilla Robinson. She leaves for Charlotte, North Carolina on a luxe girls getaway to a place near Cabo. Video emerges of her friends rousting her out of bed and beating her. She dies. No one has been brought to justice, and I'm not letting go till whether it's here on U.S. soil or in Mexico, somebody is going to jail. That's one of the cases we're covering Wednesday night when I speak with her mother.
True crime really seems to be more popular than ever. So with so many options out there, what makes this show stand out?
You know what? You can tune in to a lot of programs. On our program, what matters to me is the truth and seeking justice, and that somehow crime victims are avenged, not revenged, avenged, where we see justice play out and we help pursue justice. In many cases, victims need a voice. They are either too weak or too disenfranchised to speak for themselves, but we can't speak for them. And trust me, we're not reading scripts or telling the viewer, but somebody's telling us in our ear. We are speaking to principals, speaking to experts, speaking to lawyers familiar with the case to find out the truth. We're not reading copy. We are seeking justice, and that is what makes us different.
Okay, now this is slightly off topic, but I know that you were involved and interviewed on the Tara Grinstead case. Is this something that you're going to cover at all on the show? And as somebody who personally has just started to learn about this case, I'm obsessed. What are your thoughts on the final convictions that happened most recently?
You know, when you said the name Tara Grinstead, I had 100 thoughts collide in my head. I remember going to the crime scene with Tara's mother, and we walked through Tara's house. It was very small, but it was like a little jewel box. Everything was perfect, like, you know, those home decorating magazines. It was just perfect. But I noticed that her bedroom was askew. One of the posts to the bed was off its frame. There had been a necklace found broken on the floor, and her car, which she kept pristine, had been covered in mud, and the driver's seat had been pushed back. She was very petite. That told me so much. This high school teacher was brutally murdered. Years pass before the perps are brought to justice. You know, just like you, I never forget a case. And what her mother lived through was just pure hell.
So, without giving away too much, what can you tell us about the season and what can we expect to see?
We're not like other programs. We know what's going to happen 6 weeks from now. No, we cover what's happening at the time we go to air. We cover cases that are happening right now. I can't tell you what's going to happen next month because it hasn't happened yet, but I can tell you about Wednesday night. Again, Investigation Discovery 11:10 Central, and it also streams on Max. We are covering the Shanquella Robinson murder. Yes, there, I said it. Prosecutors may not want to say it, but it is a murder. And we cross the country to the Caitlin Armstrong case. She's a so-called glam yoga instructor. She's not very zen. She's charged with the murder of a love rival, 25-year-old Mariah Wilson, Mo's world-class, literally world-class dirt bike cyclist who was in town in Texas for a competition and ends up shot through the heart. We're on that. The trial is happening now.
Thank you so much for being here, Nancy.
Thank you for inviting me. I'll see you Wednesday night.
All right, well, that's a wrap on the first of our holiday episodes. Be sure to tune in next week when we're all new again with even more holiday tips, familiar faces, and so much more. Of course, if you've missed anything or just need a refresher on anything that you saw today, you can head to our website, lifestyletodayShow.com, or to our YouTube channel. From all of us here at Lifestyle Today, we want to wish you and your families a very happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you next week.
The proceeding was sponsored by Lifestyle Today Show.